The Review, dedicated to providing current information and critical opinion relating to local and national musical events. Here's an interview with Andrew from Every Time I Die. We're here with Andy from Every Time I Die, and they've got their new album, The Big Dirty, comes out September 4th on Ferret Music, and you guys are out on Sounds of the Underground tour right now.
Frowns of the Underground.
Frowns of the Underground. How's that going for you? What's it like?
It's awesome. It's rad. I mean, for me, health-wise, not cool, but the tour itself, awesome. Like, it's a lot better than we thought it was going to be. Like, we didn't know, we were on the first one, and like that was a pretty awesome lineup, and then we were like, you know, we didn't know if this was going to be able to match up to it, and it's actually matched up and exceeded. So,
good.
Which is good.
And how many bands are on there right now?
50, 70.
Yeah, it seems like
Something
there's a ton. So how much stage time do you guys actually get then?
We get 35 minutes. They're like lenient on it though. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you go over, they're not gonna like, you're not playing tomorrow. Yeah. But
and do some of the openers, are they a little shorter?
They get like, I think they get like 20 minutes, which is really weird. How do you play for 20 minutes?
It's tough.
Yeah.
Now you guys, you're from Buffalo.
Yeah.
And so what's the scene like there? The local scene, is that?
It's rad. Right now there's a lot of weird bands. The scene's really eclectic. Like there's like a stoner rock scene there now, like that's starting to pick up. There's like a really good punk rock scene there. Mm-hmm. There's a good hardcore scene there. There's a good metal scene. It's really weird. Like, you know, every single weekend you go to a show and there'll be kids there, and it's pretty rad.
Now you guys, considered metalcore, is that correct?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Every time people ask me that now, I have no idea.
And then on your MySpace, you also say Southern Rock.
Yeah. It's like, you know, I think with that one, it's just generally just a punk band. You know what I mean? Like we're influenced by like Black Flag and stuff like that, and like that's the reason why we started this band. You know what I mean? It wasn't like we heard, you know, Slayer and was like, oh, let's do that and hardcore. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah.
Okay.
So anytime people ask, it's just generally like, we're a punk rock, hardcore band, you know.
And then guitar-wise, you're a guitarist, right? And so who big influences on you, just guitar-wise? I mean,
guitar players?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'm not gonna say Joe Satriani or something like that. I've never, that stuff just isn't musical to me. And dudes that can really, but like Dragon Force to me is just a crock of shit. I like dudes like Dwayne Allman was awesome from the Allman Brothers, and Keith Richards was like a riff dude. You know, like I like dudes that can write songs. So I've always been into like the classics. Like Thin Lizzy's like one of my favorite bands, and those dudes can just wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like,
sure.
And now when I like think about writing a solo or I think about writing a riff, and I'm stuck, like I don't, you know, go and for inspiration. I would never listen to like a band like Dragon Force or something like that. I would go back and listen to like Thin Lizzy and go, you know what, you know, why did they do this? You know what I mean? And then pull inspiration off something like that.
How about songwriting then? Is there one person primarily?
No, it's me and Jordan split it. Like there's only 4 dudes in the band that write. We have a traveling dude that comes with us to play bass.
Okay.
And it's just, you know, we'll come up just and riff, and like me, him, and the drummer, Rat. We'll just sit there and we'll just riff, and that's how songs are made.
And then did you guys originally have a bassist? And
we went through 10. So we've been around for 9 years. We went through 10 bass players. It's not even a bass player, you know, a year. Usually we're going through 2.
So it's just easier to hire someone on?
For us it's just easier, like, just to do it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, you know, playing with Guar, I mean, they're such a unique band. Is that?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I remember my dad took me to see Guar when it was 1992. I was like 14, I think, 13, 14 years old, and it blew my mind. Like, you know, and at that time, I mean, I didn't know what. It's like, yeah, this is like the fucking coolest thing I've ever seen, you know. But now to tour with them, like I'll sit with Dave Brokey, the singer, like took me out to eat or whatever, and we're sitting there talking, and like just the stories that dude has are like unbelievable. Like it's like, you know, I'm not gonna go to like Job for a Cowboy and be like, oh, tell me about last tour. I want to like talk to a dude that's been around. '86 that band started. You know what I mean? So like stories, man. It's
so
just
they're
awesome.
they're pretty open band.
Awesome, dude. They're like one of the coolest like group of dudes we've ever toured with. And like, you know, they don't have to be like that either. You know what I mean? And they're busy dudes. And they always have time to talk, which is great.
Mm-hmm. And you guys have got a new song up on your MySpace. And that's
2 new ones now.
2 new ones, yeah. And that's myspace.com/everytimeiDie. And why don't you talk about the new ones?
Imitation is the sincerest form of battery is the one, and then No Set of Mine. It's both songs we're playing live on this tour. Imitation is one of the quirkiest songs on the new record because we couldn't figure. There's like a middle section in that song that kind of sounds like a Sabbath riff.
Okay.
It's really slow, and we didn't have anything. Like, we didn't know what to do in that part. So like we recorded it, and we recorded the first half of the song up to that point, left that blank, and then wrote, you know, the rest of the song or whatever like that. So the third last day of recording, me and Jordan like sat down, wrote that riff, pieced it in there, and it worked out perfect.
Wow.
And now I hated the song, like I didn't like it at all, and then now it's like one of my favorite songs.
So that really made it for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that riff, and then No Set of Mine is just like, it's like a Stooges type song, like a Iggy and the Stooges song.
And that one's more about people who are faking being addicts, or the image, they're faking the image.
Yeah. And that song was, you'd have to ask Keith more about the lyrics on it or whatever like that. I haven't seen the lyrics.
And
like,
now,
speaking
of Keith, is it true that he used to be a high school teacher?
Yeah. He used to be a high school English teacher.
Now that would be interesting. You know?
Yeah. It was really funny because it was while the band was going, that's when he was doing it, and like we started getting a little bit of popularity, and kids would come up to him and be like, "Oh, I can't believe you're my teacher," and yeah, that's pretty funny.
And I suppose he was English teacher, so that probably helps a lot with the lyrics.
Dude, he is a genius. Yeah, smartest dude I know.
All right, and we've been playing your video for Black.
Oh, the new Black.
The new Black. Yep. We've been playing that. I like that video a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
It's kind of like a 70s drugs party or something.
Yeah, like pool party.
Yeah. So whose idea was that?
All of ours. Like, we just came up with it, and yeah, it was pretty rad. Like that was a really fun video. We just filmed one for a new song called Werewolf, and we're sticking to like year themes. So we did an 80s video.
All right.
Based on Teen Wolf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like the whole video is based on Teen Wolf, and we're like playing guitar on top of like a van, and we're all werewolfed up and stuff like that, and like it's pretty awesome. It's pretty rad. And then, you know, the next video we do is probably gonna be a 90s based one, like a grunge one. Not really, I don't know.
We'll see what happens.
But
and going back to
the new Black.
The new Black. Yeah. And there's the guy who's the label in that. Is he actually on Fair Music then?
No, that was an actor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I figured it had to be too good.
There was a bunch of like real actors in that. There's these 2 twins in it. This is really weird, really awkward. But there were these 2 twins, and the one day I was eating at catering, and the one sat down with me. And mind you, I'm wearing a Speedo with all this shit, you know. And, this really pretty girl comes and sits next to me, and then she sat next to me again. So she was like, they had twins, like they were twins, and I was just like, what the, you know. So I'm like eating, and like they're talking and stuff, and they were both sisters that moved from, I don't know if this is right, but like they moved from like Louisiana or something like that to Hollywood. Well, the one, I was watching Walk the Line, with, you know, the Johnny Cash movie, and there's a scene where he comes off stage, and this dude goes, hey, like, there's this girl here to see you. And he's like, well, what are you talking about? Like, I don't have any friends here, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, a groupie walks in, and that groupie was one of the twins.
Oh, really?
So, like, blew my mind. And then that Master of Horror series came out on Showtime or whatever, and I was watching it, and she was in it again, but she was, like, fully naked through the whole thing. Like, full frontal nudity, like, the whole time. Like, she didn't have clothes on the whole, like, hour movie, and it was really weird. Like, I was like, oh, that girl was in my video. That was pretty cool.
All right, well, Andy, I want to thank you.
Thank you, man.
And
thank you.
Get the Big Dirty comes out September 4th on Ferret Music.
Go get it.
this will be the new black. We're gonna go into that. Enjoy.